The most talented people I've ever worked with are the ones who never made it. Not the least talented, the most talented. I've seen creative geniuses, voices that could stop a room, producers who could build magic in 10 minutes, artists who had it in a way you can't teach, and they sabotaged themselves every single time. Meanwhile, the ones who weren't the most gifted, they built empires. After 20 plus years in music and art, I finally understood why. If you're a creator chasing something big, this might save you years. When I first got into the music industry, I thought talent was everything. I thought if you were gifted enough, the world would recognize it. But that's not how it works. I remember one studio session vividly. Genius level talent, incredible artist, studio booked, our team was ready, producers were on deck, the energy was high, and they walked in 45 minutes late. No apology, ego loud, focus scattered. And I remember thinking, this is the beginning of the end. Because talent without discipline always collapses. I've seen it too many times. Incredibly gifted creators who show up late, don't prepare, don't study the business, don't invest in themselves, and they're waiting to be discovered. There's this belief that talent alone should carry them. But the world doesn't reward talent, it rewards consistency. And consistency is boring to a lot of people. Consistency is quiet, consistency is repetitive, consistency is showing up when nobody's clapping. Let me keep it real. Talent can become a trap. When something comes easy to you early, you get addicted to validation. You expect applause. You expect recognition. You expect momentum without pressure. But struggle? Struggle builds discipline. If you weren't the most talented in the room, you learned how to work. You learned how to improve. You learned how to stay hungry. And hunger wins every single time. And to be honest, I've had moments where I leaned on talent too. Moments where I thought I've done enough. Moments where I expected recognition because I knew I was good. Every creator fights that voice. The difference is whether you feed it or fight it. I had to train myself to fall in love with the process, not the validation. Because potential means nothing if it's not executed. One of my biggest goals has always been to be on top, to be one of the biggest artists in the world. That's still something I'm building toward. But here's the difference. I don't just believe in myself. I bet on myself every single day. I've invested every cent into myself at different stages of my life. Every dollar I made went back into my art, back into my music, back into my growth, back into my brand. Not because I was reckless, but because I was committed. Even when I went through a divorce, even when I had 50% custody of my son, even when my savings ran dry and I didn't know how I'd pay rent in Los Angeles, I never stopped betting on myself because no one will believe in you at the level you must believe in yourself. The world doesn't owe you belief. You owe yourself belief. And belief isn't words. Belief is investment. Belief is discipline. Belief is consistency when it's inconvenient, when you can't see the finish line. Listen, the scariest thing for me isn't failure, it's wasted potential. I've always feared being 75, knowing I was gifted, knowing I had vision, knowing I had ideas, and realizing I just didn't execute. That regret is heavier than failure. Failure teaches you something. Regret just sits with you. I've watched too many incredibly talented people fade away because they thought their gift was enough. It's not. The rarest creator isn't the most talented, it's the talented one with discipline. It's the gifted one who stays humble. It's the visionary who works like they're still unknown. That combination, that's unstoppable. But if you had to choose hunger, choose discipline, Choose work ethic because hunger beats talent when talent gets lazy. So if you're insanely talented but inconsistent, this is your wake up call. If you don't think you're the most talented, this is your advantage. This channel isn't for the lazy talented. It's for the disciplined dreamers, the ones willing to invest in themselves, the ones willing to execute, the ones building something real. If that's you, hit subscribe. Next week, I'm going to talk about the year I thought I lost everything and why it was the most important year of my life. We're building something serious here. No hype, no shortcuts, just mindset, discipline, and legacy. The real question isn't, are you talented? The question is, are you disciplined enough to become undeniable?